Open ear headphones that stay put, sound pretty decent, and give you 15 hours of battery life. That's what the HiFi Walker T10 Fits are promising. I've been trying them out, so let's check them out. While these look similar to bone conduction earphones or headphones, they're not. They have actual speakers on them. When they say air conduction, any speaker is in effect air conduction as opposed to bone conduction, because bone conduction vibrates your skull, whereas these vibrate the air in between the speakers and your ears. Despite that, unless you blast the music, nobody around you is going to hear them. It still gives you privacy, and it also sounds much better than bone conduction. To me, bone conduction always sounds a little muddy. Maybe that's a quality of my skull and you don't have that problem, but these don't suffer from that when I am listening to them. Sound quality is pretty darn good, and it still gives you situational awareness. So if you're wearing them in the office or out for a run or anything, you can still hear what's going on around you, so you're not completely oblivious, and I like that. Also, because I don't have anything jammed into my ear canals, these are much more comfortable for a longer period of time than most earbuds are for me. Even the most comfortable earbuds that I've played with, after a while, they really start to get frustrating, and it becomes even worse when I'm on a run or anything like that, because for some reason between the earbuds themselves and that sweat, it just really turns into a mess that I'm not comfortable with. And further, the longer I run, the more those earbuds want to get dislodged. Even the ones that have ear hooks or other gimmicks to try and keep them from moving anywhere, they've never been 100% satisfactory. It's just been kind of better shades of not bad with those, whereas these stay put during every physical activity I have tried, and not just runs, but also in the gym. I thought that maybe bench pressing or anything like that would cause these to dislodge, but I had no issues in that regard either. And sometimes when I'm bench pressing or doing other pretty heavy weight related tasks, I've had earbuds just slip out and go sliding off into the floor, which is, depending on the gym you're working at, mildly gross, but I don't have that issue with these. They've been nothing but stable, stationary, and kept good sound even when I'm doing different head movements or whatever. If you don't have a big giant head like me, they also have a little band that you can put on the back to kind of increase the fit. I've got a pretty good sized melon, but if you've got a normal or petite sized head, the included band makes sizing this thing and making it comfortable and stay in place a pretty easy task as well. Now, while I said the sound quality is good, and it is for this price range, guys, it's not perfect. You're not going to get like $200, $300, $400 level headphone or earbud sound quality from this, but for the price range, I found the sound quality to be excellent. And like I said, it's way better than the bone conduction ones that I've tried. Once you start getting into the higher end bone conduction ones, they tend to be a hybrid of bone and open ear, because some of the frequencies don't travel as good through the bone. So they're kind of splitting the gap, and in doing so, they're actually kind of increasing the cost, if not doubling the cost of that paradigm. For this, you're getting a very nicely balanced set of speakers that give you what you want. And then, like I said, unless you're really blasting the volume, nobody around you is going to hear it. Now be aware, if you're somebody who does like to jam to your music super, super loud, somebody standing close to you is going to hear it. And by proxy, if you're on a phone conversation that you want to keep quiet, you do want to be aware of your volume settings. Guys, at the normal volume, it claims 15 hours of playback, which I believe. The headphones come with 2 charging cables, and those cables are not just charging cables, but they're data transfer cables as well. And there's a reason for that. It takes about 2 hours to charge these headphones from the bottom all the way to the top, owing to the exceptionally big battery and the long battery life. Connectivity is Bluetooth 5.4, and pairing with my phone was effortless. It took no effort whatsoever. And then when I turned it off, turned it back on, it immediately repaired and found. So it wasn't like one of those things where you have to like start poking at it to make it pair again with your phone. I had no issues with it remembering my phone and reestablishing that connection. And when you turn them on, if you turn them on and you're wearing, it'll also tell you you're in Bluetooth mode, connected, and your power is on. And it's important that it tells you that it's in Bluetooth mode, because these headphones have a secret surprise that not a lot of other headphones I'm aware of have. And so it's important to know what mode it's in, because in addition to being able to do Bluetooth with these, if you want, this thing has 32 gigs of onboard storage. So if you don't want to run with your phone, If you just want to go out and just run with these headphones, you can do that. And if you're using MP3s, you can probably get somewhere close to 8,000 songs on these headphones. So I don't think you're going to run out of playlist anytime soon unless you're ultra marathoning, but it holds a ton of music if you want to go down that road. And it supports other music formats or sound formats besides MP3. I don't recall all of them, but there's at least 4 or 5 formats that it supports. Most people, if they're going to do music files, do MP3, but be aware there are other files that are supported. I'm not a big fan of doing that. I usually run with my phone, but if you're one of those like ultralight, I'm trying to like ditch any extra gear and run as slick as I can, these headphones may appeal to you quite a bit. Oh, and as I mentioned, the cables that come with it also act not just as charging cables, but as a data transfer cable as well. USB-A on one side and the magnetic connector on the other. As soon as I put it on my computer, it immediately opened up the directory so I could start dropping stuff in there. It wasn't difficult to get it connected to the computer either. It was actually even easier than I would have suspected. This does have a built-in microphone, so you can use it for hands-free calling if you want. I don't know that I'd want to do like whole meetings on it or anything, but the sound quality wasn't bad on the microphone side. But if you're doing a workout and you need to take a quick phone call, these really shine for that, or quick phone calls in general. But be aware you can indeed take phone calls with these. The headphones are IPX5 water resistant. What that means is rain, no problem, sweat, no problem, but don't swim in them. They're not for that, and I wouldn't recommend even trying. If you're trying to do something where you're swimming and using some sort of headphone setup, these are definitely not for that. But for even a casual rainstorm that you're out running in or get caught in, if you are not a fair weather runner like me, these will not have any problem with that, and they will shrug it off just fine. Guys, in general, after playing with these in the gym and out and about, they have completely replaced my normal earbuds that I was running with before. All of the cons of those earbuds are non-existent with this. The comfort factor is high. Sweat between the speaker and my ear doesn't matter, just runs off. Whereas before with earbuds, I always felt like I was just cramming more sweat into my ear canals, which is super uncomfortable. Never have that issue with these. These are lightweight enough to where I don't really feel them. They don't bounce around. And so when it comes to gym, running, riding the bike, anything, these are my new jam. I very much like them in that regard. I'm really kind of struggling to come up with any cons of these. If you're looking for the ultimate cheapest earbud setup or headphone setup, these are not that. You know, at a price range of $70-ish on Amazon, you know, check the link in the description, then they're not the cheapest solution on the planet if you're just trying to get sound. But if you're looking for something that stays put, sounds pretty darn decent, and won't completely break the bank, these are a pretty awesome entry, and I think they're a good option for you. Oh, and I should mention, obviously, if you're one who likes to really jam out with the music super high up, then the sound bleed out may be another con or consideration for you. But in general, guys, super decent set of headphones, set up pretty well at a price that makes sense for what they're giving you. Like it a lot. Guys, I should mention that any links that I put to these or anything else in the description will be an affiliate link. If you shop down there and click on any of those links, it's not going to cost you any extra money, but it is going to benefit the channel just a little bit. I'll get a couple extra coins, and that helps me because sometimes I pick up gear that I'm not sent by any sponsor whatsoever. And when that happens, I want to get something to review for you guys, like, you know, some of these wearables. That money helps offset those costs quite a bit, and also when it comes to camera equipment, everything else. And did I mention, doesn't cost you anything. So really appreciate that if you could visit those links in the description. Also, guys, if you like videos about knives, flashlights, other gear, wearables, sometimes firearms content, and occasionally fitness content, make sure you do all those YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for your most up-to-date stuff that I'm putting out when I put it out. And heck, for that matter, guys, if you're watching all the way up to this point, I really appreciate you. Your time is super valuable, and the fact that you've watched up to this point, love or hate the video, means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I'll end this here, guys. I've talked long enough. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Get him, Jay.
Gus, what you doing, buddy? What you doing?